Ken Kutaragi, a Sony executive who managed an engineering division in the company, saw his son play on a Nintendo family computer, which gave him interest in working with video games. So when he heard that they needed a sound chip for his upcoming system, Kutaragi approached him in secret and accepted the offer. He then began working on a sound chip for the SNES, the SPC700. When Sony executives found out about his work with Nintendo, he was almost fired, but it was only vetoed by Sony president Norio Oga, who saw potential in the chip and got him to keep his job. In 1988, Nintendo contracted Sony to develop a CD-ROM add-on, since they were already producing a sound chip for them. It was to be named the PlayStation. Sony chairman Nobuyuki Ide liked the name, but since it was already trademarked by Yamaha, he had to acquire it for an undisclosed amount. Although the initial agreement between Nintendo and Sony was only about producing a CD-ROM drive add-on, Sony was also planning to develop their own console. But then, Nintendo changed their mind. They thought that they gave Sony too much control. In the agreement, Sony would retain sole international rights to every Super Disc game, meaning they wouldn't get as much revenue as they wanted. So they secretly made a deal with Philips to keep more control over their software. So on the first day of the 1991 CES, Sony announced their Nintendo PlayStation partnership. However, the next day, Nintendo announced a partnership with Philips instead. Howard Lincoln, the chairman of Nintendo of America at the time, stepped onto the stage and revealed that Nintendo was now allied with Philips and would abandon their work with Sony. Angered by what Nintendo did, Oga and Kutaragi decided that Sony would develop their own console. Lacking experience in game development, Sony had to depend on third-party developers for support. The technical specifications for the PlayStation were finalized in 1993. The name and its final design were confirmed during a press conference on May 10, 1994. So on December 3, 1994, Sony released the PlayStation in Japan and it quickly became a phenomenon. It launched in North America in 1995 and it was priced at $299. The PlayStation 1 changed gaming forever by introducing 3D graphics, CD-based games, and a more mature game library compared to Sega and Nintendo. Unlike older consoles that used 2D sprites and cartridges, the PS1 CDs allowed for bigger worlds, better music, and cinematic cutscenes. The DualShock controller added analog sticks and vibration, making gameplay smoother. By the time the PS1 was discontinued, it had sold over 102 million units worldwide. It was the first gaming console to surpass 100 million sales, solidifying Sony's dominance in the gaming industry, and it led to one of the best sequels of all time.